Hiya, everybody. Welcome to the Seven Sisters Pubcast. Once again, coming from the pub called Seven Sisters in Toulouse. My name's Paul. I'm joined once again by my beautiful girlfriend, Bianca.
Hi. Back by popular demand.
Back by popular demand, yeah.
No.
First of all, I'd like to apologise for the lateness of the podcast. We're already recording on the 9th. I said we'd be releasing it every first of the month.
That hasn't happened.
And I've clearly not fulfilled that promise immediately. First one. I'm going to stop promising things.
Well, we will tell the story that we were going to record one on Sunday after a lovely lunch with our dear friends Tom and Mark. Himalayan Nepalese food. It was really good. I was hungover. England had won the night before. It was going to be a funny one. But Paul forgot a cable.
An important cable. A very important
crucial cable.
Very crucial. Very crucial.
Nice callback to our previous episode, if you checked it out, on Paul's rage towards inanimate objects. This cable and the fact of forgetting it was...
Goddamn cable. I'm also going to stop promising things on here because I've done it a few times now.
There's no accountability.
First was we're going to release every month. Well, no. Last one was we're going to release one every month, or the first of every month. And also with Moose, I think that was episode 3. So 8 months ago, I promised a jingle for the podcast, and that is still not materialised either. So yeah, I'm just gonna stop promising things and we'll just see what happens. So the football. We record the Euros is still happening at the moment.
England
semi-final, or the first semi-final, is being played tonight between Spain and France. So we're looking forward to that.
It's going to be a busy one.
Yeah, and then tomorrow we've got England Holland, England versus the Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Netherlands. Sorry. So that's tomorrow. Looking forward to that as well. Have you been enjoying the football? Have you, Bianca?
I have been enjoying the football.
Yeah. What's been your favourite part of the football?
England winning the other night was pretty cool.
It was, yeah.
That's the only match I've seen. Although penalties is horrible.
Penalties is horrible regardless of whether it's your team playing.
Yeah, it's just really stressful, and I don't like it that much.
But anyway, that's kind of...
You've heard people talking about the football enough, I'm sure. But...
it kind of leads on to the theme of this week's or this month's episode, isn't it?
This
doesn't it?
Episode, yeah.
Which is what?
The ick.
The ick. Yeah.
So what gives you the ick, Paul, about me?
What gives me the ick about you? It's a good question. It is a good question. I've told you that what gives me the ick is when you copy things that I do.
Your bits, as you call them.
The comedy that I write. When you copy my things, my catchphrases,
the accents.
Again, like, I don't mind influencing the younger comedian. But, come up with your own material.
Right. I have one.
I'd just like to point out that line is from David Brent in The Office.
Like all your lines, sorry.
So that wasn't my own
Could
material.
I just say, not an original bone in your body?
Yeah.
Just kidding. I have one. We're going to watch a video that I've taken, which Paul will superimpose onto the video.
Oh, God, yeah.
This is a big one of mine.
So this is me on my bike.
On a bike, or anyone on a bike, not just you, but half on it and pushing with the other foot.
You can see that I'm greatly exaggerating it
gliding
for comedy value, right? That's not
some people are as flamboyant with it.
You'll also notice that I've mounted the bike specifically for this video. Normally what you would do is you're cycling normally, then you'd
one leg over,
you'd swing your leg off,
cock your leg off,
so you don't have to stop, and you can kind of keep gliding, and then when it gets
I know what purpose it serves, but when you're doing this, I truly hate it. But I know you're doing it as a joke, but it is Well, what is the ick? We sound 50 years old right now, but the ick isn't that new, but it's kind of a buzzword these days.
Yeah.
So, what does the ick mean to you?
For those people that have never heard of the ick.
No offense to 50-plus-year-olds, but
I'm close. I'm near it.
Yeah, when we use these TikTok words, it makes you sound very very out of touch. But what does the ick mean to you?
I don't know. The ick is like second-hand embarrassment, I guess, isn't it? Kind of.
Traditionally, I always knew it as if you would start dating someone and you fancy them and they fancy you and it's all good, but then they'll do something which will just put you off immediately and you get the ick because it's like, oof, actually,
yeah,
I thought I fancied that person, but...
Well, what would be what's a generally universally accepted ick for that would put a woman off of a man then?
Oh, well, now you're getting...
What is a masculine ick that isn't something that's... Or that isn't quite... Which would happen...
Do you know what's sad?
Often.
Do you know what is sad? Often it would be if he's too keen, which I disagree with. I mean, we're getting into all sorts of things now, but quite often it will be that, which is...
You heard it here first, lads. Don't be too keen.
Don't be nice. Don't show interest.
Yeah, don't be too nice and don't show any interest.
It's not just the showing interest, though. There's just something about the eagerness, I think, that I've got the ick of things like, I don't know, just one day you're just like, oh, actually.
I was once told that a lady was just about to cut ties with me because I was texting too much.
Aww.
I was very interested in said female, and so I was texting a lot. And she told me there was a day where, for some reason, I don't know how old I was. I think it was like over 15 years ago now, I guess, maybe, I don't know. But there was just one day where I didn't text at all, and then it just I just stopped doing it. And she was like, "Oh, okay. If I hadn't done that, I would have been binned off." Yeah.
Isn't it sad though? Like, but you could do. It can be anything really, but it just means literally makes you feel like gross. It's like, ugh, ick.
Yeah. So the the example I'm going to give for Bianca. This isn't a very good example though, because when I do it, it's pretty icky as well. I do a thing where if you say something that's remotely futuristic sounding or technologically kind of what's the word, like it's if it's something to do with technology or
big words, techie words,
I would repeat what you've said in a robotic voice, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So if you'd say the washing machine's activated is the word, isn't it?
That's a go-to for the robot voice. Yeah.
If Bianca she wouldn't say that, but that's a bad example.
Launched, activated.
If she says the washing machine's been launched, I would then repeat, the washing machine's been launched, or washing machine activated.
It's the accent too, the 60s English accent. Like
we think it's the Dalek, don't we?
It is a bit that accent, yeah.
We think it's because of the Daleks, but I don't know why I do it. But if as soon as it's futuristic, yeah.
But if I do it, that gives you the ick.
But if you do it, then that gives me the ick, yeah. Do you want to do it?
No, I'm not doing it. No.
So yes, podcast recording commenced. Stuff like that.
It gets me every time.
You do like it though.
I do, it's funny. But when I do it, it's disgusting.
Ugh, yeah, when you do it, it's like, come on.
Sometimes when I talk about football too, you're like...
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I will never pretend that I know loads about football. I gather football knowledge from you or other people that I talk to.
Yeah.
And I just sort of regurgitate what I've heard from other people. And when I do that, you're a bit like, who do you think you are?
Yeah. Well, it's the other day when England were playing Switzerland, and I think it must have been when the penalties were being taken. You were at the bar, and I could just see the back of your head. And then you were sat next to Tom, our aforementioned Tom, who we went to the restaurant with yesterday.
Good guy.
Very good guy. Shout out Tom. Yeah, so you were sat next to Tom, and then you just turned around, and I could just see the back of your head, and I could just hear you talking football, and it was really getting to me.
Really annoying.
Really annoying. It's like, why is he taking the penalty? It's like,
I don't think I'd have even asked anything that like.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's not that icky, to be fair, when you're talking football.
It feels quite empowering though.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can, football.
But there is another sports ick that you get, isn't there, darling?
What is it?
When I'm watching cricket.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one. Yeah.
So for those of you who are cricket fans, I am a bit of a cricket fan. When a batsman scores 4 runs,
oh God,
when they score a boundary, the umpire, as in lots of all sports, the referees or the umpires, they have signals that they do with their hands to indicate that something's happened, and the symbol for 4 runs for a boundary in cricket is this, and they'll
just look at what he's doing.
they'll wave their fingers. That's not even the worst one. There was one we were watching the other day. It was the T20 World Cup. And there was one umpire who he went like this.
Oh God!
Like he kind of does like this, and then they style it out.
A bit of flair.
They put a bit of flair. But if you're watching the cricket and someone scores a 4, it goes into the crowd, and every single fucking person in the crowd is going like this.
I didn't say it wasn't real. I said it's like. Ugh.
But when it cuts to the crowd and there was other human beings doing it, you didn't respond. You didn't respond in any way. It's when I do it.
There is that.
Yeah.
You do a lot of cricket gestures.
That's a 6 as well, by the way. 2 hands up like that. And there was an umpire back in the day who used to curl his fingers in like this, and he'd do that for a 6. They had their own. They had their own little. What's the word? It's not idiosyncrasy, is it? Think so. I think that works.
Kind of, yeah.
I think that works.
We watched an interesting football docu-series last night. A couple of episodes of Football Cops.
Football Cops.
On Channel 4.
Yeah.
The dedicated, what is it?
DPO, isn't it?
DFO.
DFO?
Dedicated football officer.
Yeah.
For each team. I didn't know, each football team has a dedicated member of the police in charge of preventing violence and keeping fans away from each other.
I have a feeling that stemmed from the Hillsborough disaster.
They did say that in the documentary.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Literally, that was the intro.
Oh, was it?
Since the Hillsborough disaster, the demand for policing in football has increased.
I think also the problem with the English is that this does happen all around the world, yet there are hooligans everywhere. Most teams will have their firm, their ultras. But the English will do it on an international level. You will hardly see the Dutch and the Germans like fighting on a plaza in Spain, throwing plastic chairs at each other.
It's so embarrassing.
It's just us that does it on an international level, really. In that documentary, they're talking about Scunthorpe. Scunthorpe's been relegated out of the Football League, so they're no longer a professional outfit. They're not in the Football League anymore. And they was talking about Scunthorpe as a town. It used to be quite a big steel works, so the steel works employed thousands of people. Then that diminished, and suddenly the football team is literally the only community hub where people can get together and be as a community. And then people take that so seriously, and then as soon as someone says, "Oh, Scunthorpe is shit," it's like it's personal. It becomes personal. Being in France, living in France as an English person, you get a lot of the whole France-England banter, don't you? Le crunch, like when the French and the English play in rugby. There's obviously when the English and the French play in football, like they had in the quarterfinals of the World Cup last time. It's a lot of like, but it's never violent. You never see any violence ever. It's just football. You will never see cricket violence, swimming violence. You know.
Wait, what do you mean? There's never between French and English fans?
Well, I'm just
France and
I'm just saying between France and England, you've got this rivalry, but you never see it. It never escalates into fisticuffs, does it? It's just the English football fans where it turns into a violence.
I would be interested to know: do England fans talk about France as much as France fans talk about England?
No. There's your answer.
Because
no.
Is that true? Because we've said it seems like, and you, to quote you, we're living rent free in their heads. Like they're always going on about things.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of t-shirts. There's t-shirts that have been popping up recently. I think they popped up since the World Cup, the Rugby World Cup, where you'll see French people wearing t-shirts that say, I support two teams, France and anyone England are playing.
But although the other day somebody did tell me that those t-shirts exist for like all countries, like against England.
Oh, really?
Well, in rugby, he said in rugby, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, they'll all wear those t-shirts against England.
You've just listed off a lot of countries who've never won the fucking World Cup. And we fucking have, so
This is why.
This is how the violence starts.
This is why people hate England. Well, no, it's not, obviously, but many reasons.
No, but you'll never see another good example of this would be the Rugby World Cup 2019. It was in Japan. The games were excruciatingly early because they were being played in Japan. So like the final was England South Africa, and it kicked off at like 7 a.m. And there were pubs in Toulouse that were open at 7 a.m. and there were people going in to watch the games. Mainly French, mainly French people who wanted to watch England lose. Now, I would challenge anyone to go to a pub in England if that same situation was happening in France, South Africa, 7 a.m. in a World Cup final. I would challenge anyone to find me a pub with any English fans in there watching it, just so France would lose. They'd all still be asleep because England aren't in the final, so they're not there. The
pettiness is crazy, and I just don't.
It just wouldn't happen. The pubs would be closed. Everyone will still be in bed. No one would give a fuck about it, or they'd be watching it at home.
Watching at home at a push, or when you wake up, see the score. We hope you've enjoyed this sports podcast.
It has turned into a sports one, hasn't it?
It's quite sporty, but is that a bad thing?
I don't think so.
People like listening to that kind of thing. How far in are we?
We're I don't know. I can't tell on this. 733 bars in a 4/4. What is that? What is that word for that?
Time signature.
Time signature, isn't it? God, I've forgotten everything about music. 120 BPM, 741 bars, and a 4/4 time signature. So you could work that out.
Could I?
Someone probably could. A musician probably could.
For sure.
But yeah, maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I don't know.
All right, cool. Well, we'll keep going for a little bit.
Well, why not? Why not?
The Tories are out.
The
Tories have gone.
Yes, the Tories have gone.
That's chill as well. It's pretty chill.
And France, you've managed to keep out the extreme right as well.
Sort of, though. Well, they've no majority. There's sort of a thing going on at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, but
at the time of recording,
there'll be someone will form some kind of coalition, like I don't know.
Either way, reasons to be optimistic about the stuff.
They'll get in eventually, though.
As for the US, we'll see.
Yeah, we need a bit of a miracle from the Democrats out there. Yeah, that's another thing as well. I was going to say about the UK. It would be. I don't think the extreme right would ever get as close as that to getting in the UK. I just can't imagine that happening. Like, yes, there's lots of racists in England and the UK, and immigration is obviously a huge thing. But they're not going to vote in fucking fascists. Well, Farage isn't a fascist, is he? He's not far right. I mean, he's a cunt.
Surely he is a bit, isn't he? He's pretty.
I don't think you could call him the extreme right.
Well, all I think is it's a good thing well, this was the whole key word for Labour, wasn't it? Change. Change
Yeah.
will come, hopefully. I don't think they're,
We shall see.
They're calling it less right-wing. Not left-wing, but less right-wing. But we'll see. I felt like, I'm really no expert in this, but I felt like people are feeling quite hopeful.
We all need to start voting socialism. That's my 2 cents for the podcast today. That's where it should be going. I did A-level, right? I did an A-level in politics. I've forgotten it all. There's a few things that I remember. So I couldn't tell you the difference or the policies or what socialism is or what capitalism is. But I read about socialism whilst picking a party to vote for in this election. I eventually voted Labour just to try and get the cunts out. And socialism is where I'm at.
You're a socialist.
Just so you know. When I was reading about it, it's like, yeah, rights for everyone. Okay, good.
Socialism means sharing everything.
But not communism.
Not communism. I wouldn't be able to
worked.
give the exact difference between the two.
Yeah, me neither.
I think socialism is things like your healthcare, your schools, public services, all for the people.
I just read when I was reading.
Something to do with tax.
I can't remember. I just read through the socialist party website, and I went through their kind of policies, and I was like, that's what humankind should be doing, isn't it? Isn't that what we all want? Is that not what everyone wants? Why are we not all voting for that?
I don't think we're equipped to have this discussion.
Definitely not.
I don't have the knowledge.
I'm more equipped to talk about cricket. Notice for any budding umpires out there, when you're giving a 4,
of which there are many, I'm sure.
I think you've got to roll the fingers. You've got to roll the fingers with it. Like you've got to kind of, as you're coming back, it's got to be like that.
Oh my God.
4 runs. Yeah, what's the time? Right, it's coming up to 4 p.m. on the 9th of July 2024. I need to open the pub. France are playing Spain tonight.
Come down and watch at Seven Sisters.
So we do play live sports here. We have 3 TVs. We play the sound.
Wait a minute.
Commentary.
Not come down tonight because this won't be out today.
Well, just come down at any
Come
point.
down in the future.
To enjoy live sport.
You will miss tonight's match.
You will miss tonight's match. Unless you do come tonight.
See you later.
I'll see you later.
I won't.
Yeah, you won't.
Maybe tomorrow. England.
So anyway, yeah, so that's the vibe today. France versus Spain. Looking forward to that. Should be quite busy tonight. I don't know who I'm supporting. France or Spain. You see, I don't care. This is the difference. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'd be happy with both.
Yeah.
France, we have lived here for quite a while, so really we should, but we're not rooting against them. We're not rooting for them.
No, nom-fup. That's what I'm going to say. Nom-fup. Not my fucking problem. I'm going to put that up there. A little acronym for you. Feel free to use that. I didn't write that. Again, that's Armando Iannucci, the thick of it. You will find that a lot of my material is stolen. But yeah. Okay, so thank you. Curated, yeah. So thank you very much for watching. Again, I apologise for all these promises that I've not kept. There are at least 3 of them now. So I'm just going to stop doing that. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, Seven Sisters Pub.
Share it with everyone.
Share it with all of your friends, enemies, people you don't know. Come down to Seven Sisters, have a beer if you live in Toulouse. And we shall see you very soon. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.